Hey, welcome back to Bit by Bit, here for another coffee break. And this time we're shooting in my apartment. I just moved recently. I moved like 2 blocks from where I lived before. So we figured we'd shoot here, and next weekend take a look at where Jess is staying at in Chicago. So yeah, right now I'm shooting in my apartment, which is in Pilsen. And today we're talking about unpopular video game opinions. So opinions that we hold that we think are unpopular that like people wouldn't vibe with. So I guess I'll start things off. I think my most unpopular opinion would probably, my most unpopular opinion. Okay, I think my most unpopular opinion would be that the old Pokemon games, like Red and Yellow and stuff, that they suck. That they're not good games. That they don't age well at all. Like for the time they were fine, but like, you know, I know a lot of people that like they go back and on the DS eShop, you can buy those games really cheap and like, oh, it's so great, and I'm like, this game sucks so bad. Like they're so like they take so long to play. Like there's like that one patch of grass in the whole town that you're just in over and over again. And then everything's super expensive and you never get any money from anything. So you're just like this poor, sad little person, and I just don't think they're very good.
I'd say that I don't know. First, I want to respond to your Pokemon thing.
Yeah,
I'm going to bring one of my own because I was wondering if you played it when you were younger. I don't remember.
I did play when I was younger.
Yep. Did you enjoy it when you were young?
Yes.
Okay, you just don't enjoy it when you're older. Okay, I haven't replayed them since I was older, so I can't really like tell if you're accurate or not about that. But I do think for a lot of people it's the nostalgia. But I can understand, you know, looking back at old games compared to how games are now, I mean, like, the mechanics are not great. You know, like, there's some games that I love still that I look back and I try to play, and I'm like, this is a horrible experience compared to what I can do now. So, I guess I can be okay with that. I can't speak for the rest of the internet. They might get mad at you. For me, I think one of the unpopular opinions that I have is that I think, well, I hate online or social games, you know, like massive online, like role-playing games and stuff like that, or games where you have to talk to people, or like you can't be successful unless you make like online friends. I hate those because I don't want to make friends in real life. I want to stay home. That's why I'm on this video game. I'm on this video game so I don't have to interact with everybody, and I love that. And then you want me to socialize, and I'm like, you're just like everyone else in my life, you know, leave me alone. I was playing this game called Sybil recently, and I'm reviewing it for Bit Cultures, and the whole game premise sort of follows this online romance from these people who play a game together online. And so, I don't know, that was really fresh in my mind because, first of all, the romance was stupid, and the game was kind of not great. And then the whole time I was like having this anxiety about them like having this budding romance on an online game and like trying to be social on there, and so it caused me like a lot of angst. I'm not a big fan of those. I don't know how you feel about those.
Yeah. Do you have any other examples of like what you mean by online social games?
Oh, like Warcraft or World of Warcraft, or even like Call of Duty sometimes, you know. Or, yeah, stuff where you're supposed to talk to people, stuff where it's sort of built in that you'll do better if you talk to people. You know, like even on Hearthstone, there's some like daily quests where you'll get some extra gold if you watch one of your friends win a game, because you can like view other people's games. And I always just call my brother and I'm like, get on, I need to watch you win a game, and like he's my only friend, and that's how I want to keep it. I hate it because then I get on the game and there's other people and I feel like I can't be on the game. I don't, because it stresses me out so much.
Yeah, I don't really play that genre in general, so I kind of get it. And like I guess I kind of can agree with that to a level, because I only online game with people I know in real life. Like I don't want to, or the people that I have some type of contact with in real life. So like the Cultures team, I'll like play games with them. But like, yeah, like when I like playing Overwatch, like I never have my headset on, and like I don't talk to people unless I know them. Like, and I know I gamed with one of my friends who was gaming with his friends. It was my friend Nick Weaver. And I was just like, okay, I'm only really going to talk to Nick because I don't want to talk to these other people because I don't know who you are.
It's weird.
Sorry if the other people are watching. If I thought you guys are weird. But like, I don't want to talk to you. So I guess I can vibe with that in a sense. Okay. So next unpopular opinion would have to be, I'm trying to pick which one is the most unpopular. I think my dislike of war and FPS games. Like, I just don't like them at all. I basically will almost refuse to play them. Like I have Call of Duty, I think Black Ops probably for PS4. Like I got it for free with the system. It's in the case, it's hard copy and everything. I still haven't opened it. Like I just don't have any interest in it at all. And like my borderline hatred of digital games. Like, I play digital games because I like indies, and I refuse to not play indies just because I don't like digital games. But I really don't like digital. Like, I hate, like, the idea of ordering games on Amazon Prime, even. Like, I just don't like anything involving, like online, like, anything that moves away from physical media of games, or, like, the distribution of games, like, from physical stores. Like, I just don't vibe with it at all. Which is funny, because I actually had a terrible experience at Best Buy yesterday with trying to buy a game, where I asked for the new Forza, and like in the front, and then they like reached in and they gave it to me, and then I like paid for it and whatever, I bought my stuff, then I got in the car, and then I realized they gave me Forza 2 instead of Forza 3, which I don't understand why they had it back there, because that's only for new games. So, despite having not great experiences in physical places also, like, I really don't like Amazon Prime. Like, I don't care how much money I save, like, I don't care about it. Just get Best Buy Gamers Club. It's the same. It's like the same thing. It's cheaper than Amazon Prime, because if you get it regularly, it's like $80 or $100 for a year, and Best Buy Gamers Club is $30 for 2 years. So, but yeah, so that would be my unpopular opinion.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can see why that'd be pretty unpopular, because I don't super agree with it. And like, I understand it because I've been around you enough that like I deal with your opinion on it. But I don't know. I love digital games. I love that I can just like get on Steam or something and be like, I want to play this game right now, and then I can, Although I do hate.
But what about the memory? It takes up a lot of space.
That's what I was gonna say. I hate the memory. I hate because my computer's not great, and then also like my Xbox, I don't have the super big memory one. I have like the 500 one. So I'm constantly having to get rid of games that I didn't end up playing. So whenever I want like the free games, on Xbox Live, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna download this and play it later, and then later I'm like, I kind of have to undownload it because I don't have any room for anything, which is stupid. But even today, like you have the hard copy games, you put them in your Xbox, it still needs to download shit. That's weird. I don't know. You should build in more memory if that's what you're going to do from now on. I don't know. So, I mean, aspects of that I would agree with, but then other aspects I'm like, I just love that the games are more easily accessible. Because, like, for some people, depending on how old you are or where you live or whatever, getting games in person might be hard.
Right.
I would have loved to get more games online when I was a kid, because my mom was like, no, I don't want to go to GameStop, Although, the experience is nice, the ambiance of the game store. Yeah, I guess for me, another one that is fairly unpopular is that, I don't know, I feel like there's a lot of people who think this and it's still unpopular, and I don't understand that. But I know it's unpopular because people have said mean things to me online about it. It's that I think that, there should be more female avatar options, or that there should be more games that are female protagonists only, where it's like, a lot of people are like, oh, we need more female characters, so let's just like add them into male protagonist games. I'm like, no, we need more games that are just female protagonists, because there's like a lot of games that are just male protagonists. I don't know, I just think that it's important, to have different perspectives, because it's like, video games are an art form, and it's the same thing with like literature or anything else, you want everyone represented, and you want to be able to access all these different perspectives. So even just like, from an academia perspective, I'm like going hardcore on wanting these female protagonists, and I've written a couple things about it for like Bit Cultures, and I talk about it a lot because it's like one of my big things. But people get pretty mad.
Yeah,
people get really annoyed. They say mean things and aggressive things, and sometimes threatening things. Like that time that guy called me muffin.
Oh yeah.
On M4G. I wrote this article for Bit Cultures. I'll put a link to it in the description if you want to read it, but it was basically about how I wanted there to be like a female main for Mass Effect Andromeda, like the default female. So it doesn't mean that there's no male, it just means the default's female. And that's before they actually like announced that there was going to be the default female, is when I wrote it. So, that was back before that was all set in stone. And like this guy like went on a rant and was like, that it was ridiculous that this should be, a female main option, and he called me muffin, and I was like, of all the derogatory things you could think to call me, you call me muffin? So I think it's hilarious. Yeah, but there was worse things said. So I'm thinking it's pretty unpopular, because people tend to get kind of upset.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, amongst the man-paying crowd, I think it's pretty unpopular. But yeah, I have the same opinion also. I didn't even talk about it on the channel, and I've also written stuff about it for Big Cultures, which you can also put in the description.
Yeah, all the links.
Yeah, we've collabed on it. Cousin's also collabed on it, who's sitting on my sofa right now. But so yeah, well, I guess it's funny that you so since we do have the video option, female leads, Game Informer cover, Horizon Zero Dawn. Really looking forward to that. Yeah, I definitely agree. We should have. Let me do that one more time, just so it's nice and clear. It's a beautiful cover. Game Informer has been killing it with their covers lately. They had a really nice one of God of War the other issue, like 2 issues ago or something. But yeah, I definitely agree with that one as well. And there's not a whole lot more to say on that. I mean, like, just get more representation, because that's good, because we have a lot of different people playing games. And we can also put a link on there. I made, based off Jess's article, I made a, like, hand lettering, like, kind of doodle sketch thing.
I love that thing.
And I can put a link because I put it on the Girl Gamer subreddit, and there's been some great conversations happening on that thread about representation, about like kind of applying to those comments, but like in a nice community setting where we can like talk about like the things, because a lot of the comments that were made too, I took the ones that were less crazy. You know, there's always like the person that's just like, you know, Trump 2016, like just shouting things like for no reason. But a few of them were like more legitimate. Like one was like, oh, I just can't, to be honest, I can't get immersed when it's like a female character. And so like people in the comments on Reddit like picked that apart, and they were like, well, you know, it's fun, like it's not that what he said was wrong to say or to feel, but like what that comment is like lacking is like an understanding of like, well, if you feel that way, that's how all female gamers also feel. Like, you know, there are women too that also feel like they can't relate to characters if they're not female. So like, why, if you want to be able to relate, like, why don't you want everyone to be able to relate to
the
like,
empathy factor?
Yeah, exactly. They're like, oh, well, like, because you know, it's about me and my gaming and all that. So those are some really good conversations happening on there. On regards to that, I guess. So another unpopular opinion I have would be my dislike of Mega Man, which I think leads into one of your unpopular opinions pretty nicely, as I'm reading over your paper that you have here. Yeah, I hate Mega Man so much. I didn't play it when I was a kid. You know, it all started when I went to GameStop and they had the Legacy Collection for DS, and I'm like, this. Oh, $30, like all these games. I'm like, hey guys, like, hey Big Culture's team, should I get this? And they're like, oh yeah. And I played it, I'm like, guys, this is really like, really hard. It's not really enjoyable for me. And they're like, oh yeah, it's hell. And I'm like, why did you tell me to buy this? And I never beat it, never played it. I don't see the value in it at this point. It's not that it's like completely a bad game or anything. It's cool, and the level design's really interesting, and blah blah blah, and history, etc. etc. But like, you know, like, it's just not, like, with all my time that with the time I have, I don't want to spend that time trying to master Mega Man. Right. And its little petty little jumps and all that. I just don't feel like it's worth it, like, because of how difficult it is.
Yeah, I mean, and that leads really well. It does really lead really well into my next one, which is that I think games should be harder. But that's like an oversimplified statement. I have to expand on it a little, because I'm with you a little bit on Mega Man. Like, to some extent, I tried Mega Man.
I hate Mega Man. And Jess was over at my apartment recently, and I had these DS games, and I'm like, you should borrow some games, and like we can play more games. And I'm like, here, take Mega Man. I don't want it. Take it. Yeah. Please. You know, I want to see you beat this thing. So I pass the plague on to you.
Yeah, it's really hard, and I did beat a couple levels, but it took me a long time, and it was really frustrating. But I think really when I say games should be harder, I guess I'm talking even more so about like when you talk to like AAA games, or your like role-playing games, your adventure action adventure games or whatever, where there's sort of a plot, you know. Not that there's not a loose plot in Mega Man, there is, but it's not the same as, you know, like when you get on Dragon Age or something like that, you know.
Yeah, it's not story-driven.
No, it's not story-driven, and I think a lot of story-driven games are missing difficulty, because, I mean, I also, while we're really bumping our other content hardcore today, I'm not trying to, but I wrote this article in the last semester of college where I talked about, I did this whole project on Mass Effect and like literary theory and stuff, but I talked about like game difficulty driving narrative and how that relates to it, and it's not like Mass Effect's a super hard game, it's not, but I think that if you have to like overcome something in a story-driven game, like the outcome is more meaningful to you, you know, or like what you do or how well you do it affects what happens. Like, I think that's interesting. Like, I'm always a big fan of doing like a one-life version of a game. I talked about a couple times where you basically like set it on the hardest mode. You play Fallout or Skyrim or something like that. You set it on the hardest mode, and if you die, you're dead forever. And I think that's really fun, because then all your victories are like amazing, and you start to like really identify with your character more, because you're like sharing their challenges and their fear, and they start to become more of a real entity instead of just like, oh, I'm animated and going around and killing things easily. Yeah. You know, I just don't like it when story-driven games are easy, because I feel like, to me, it starts to feel a little pointless. Because there's a difference between like action adventure and like a visual novel. A visual novel, you go in expecting just to experience a story, you know. But an action adventure, I want to have an adventure and action and participate in it and like have my skill level matter slightly because then getting better feels important. Yeah. So that's what I mean when I think games should be harder. I think a lot of games these days that come out are really easy, and I think it's because, you know, I don't know if the game like community or the game industry thinks that we're all a little bit, you know, soft. Yeah, and, you know, maybe we are, but you know, come on, let's harden up, guys. I think it's important. That's why I like things like Dark Souls. I think that's very interesting that they made it hard on purpose. My brother and I both really want to see, actually this is the only massive online RPG I would play, a massive online RPG of like a video or like a zombie survival game where you have one life. And anyone could kill you, anyone in the world, you know, it could be horrible to you, and there's zombies everywhere, and it's a true survival game.
Wait, is this coming out, or are you just picturing it?
No, we want it. We want it to exist.
Oh, write it for picture this.
Yeah, I think I will. Yeah, okay. I don't know. So,
which is always bumping the content really hard. Yeah, the series we have in big quarters, but
yeah, if you didn't know, we write other things. So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're kind of running down on time here, but just to kind of add to that, yeah, I guess it's hard for me to figure out how I feel about game difficulty, and I'm really sad we did a video on game difficulty that got lost in the ether because the audio like didn't exist or got messed up or something. But we did it was really long too. So we'll do that again for you guys eventually, so you can actually see it. But it's interesting because I don't know. I do really like Super Meat Boy, and that game is very hard.
I love Super Meat Boy.
But I think, and this is something I did talk about when we did our video that got lost, but like. The nice thing about that is it's short enough though that it's still so digestible to me, like the difficulty of it, because every level is very hard for the except for the first couple, you know, because they're teaching you how to play the game. Right. But the levels are really, really hard, but they only last like less than a minute or around a minute. So like, yeah, it's hard, but it's only like it's like low. It's low risk because like if you fail it, you have to do it a bunch of times, like hundreds of times. But like levels are really hard. Like I hate like when you kind of what Mega Man is, like everything's so hard, and it's like, oh, you died all the way back to the beginning. And it's like, why am I playing this? This is terrible. But yeah, so that's kind of my feeling on that. I feel like I wanted to say one other thing, but I can't quite remember what that was. So so it's kind of weird game difficulty. Oh, I wonder if the AAA is getting easier is for age accessibility. Like for kids, maybe to play. Though we have the E for but the ratings happen after I think after like all that stuff anyway, like the ESRB ratings. Because I noticed that really specifically with from Little Big Planet 1 to Little Big Planet 2. Little Big Planet 2 is way easier than Little Big Planet 1, and way less fun for that reason too. Because part of what was nice is that it was difficult and really cute.
There's no challenge. I don't know.
I mean, now it's just cute, which is fine. But like, that's why I don't have the third one because I'm like the second one wasn't that great to me. Okay. So yeah, I guess those are some of our unpopular opinions. I guess let us know in the comments below if we've already had a lot of other unpopular opinions on. You can watch other videos where we discuss topics in games for things you guys might disagree with. You can also hit us up on Twitter. Tell us what is your most unpopular game opinion, either in the comments below or on Twitter. Jess, do you want to give us that handle again, our Twitter handle?
Yeah, it's just Bit by Bit Gaming. So check us out on Twitter, follow us, and yeah, for sure let us know what your unpopular opinion is. Keep it appropriate. I don't want to hear anything about, like, Anita Sarkeesian,
Oh yeah.
Blah, like, madness stuff. I'm done with that. And no one better call me Muffin again. But that's about it. Go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. We really appreciate your guys' support, and we'll see you next week.